Hey guys, Griff here with Suburban Knife Maker up in Ontario. This weekend marks Canada's 150th birthday, and I'm going to mark that with my interpretation of the famous Canadian belt knife. We've got a large and a small. So, let's do as they say up here and give her. Here we are with the profile grinding done. I've just marked the bevels. Both knives were sprayed with the blue Dicam, and the grind height is there now, so I know how far to go up. I have my file guide on the one knife. I'm about to grind that one, and once that grinding's done, I'll show you how that came out. Hey guys, so I'm back. Ground the bevels on the knives. I even worked on the large knife there is part of the 5 knives series that I'm doing. The little one, you might be able to tell, has changed quite a bit. The reason being is it was a hollow ground like the larger knife, and the grinding got away from me a little bit, so I tried to correct, and of course, as it usually happens, I overcorrected. So what I did was I turned it into a convex grind, which kind of changed the profile and the shape of it. I am still going to finish it. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it side by side for this video, but I'm definitely going to finish it side by side as I'm making them, because I'm going to be heat treating them, so I might as well heat treat both knives at the same time, maybe even the large one, and temper them at the same time, so while the tempering I can get on with the handle material. So yeah, so the belt knife is hollow ground. Once I've heat treated that, I'm going to clean up the lines with the 220. It's sanded to 180 right now, and then this one it's marked again because I'm going to change the top of the profile there slightly. Okay, so anyway, the next step is drill the holes for the handle material, which is going to be homemade micarta. I got some Canadian colors to put on the handle, and we'll go from there. Alright, I'll see you in the next part. I had a thought while I was drilling the holes on the knife that I should maybe talk about loveless bolts. I have Corby bolts too, but for this knife I'm going to use the loveless. I was also thinking that there are maybe some people that have come across this video that don't typically watch knife videos and maybe don't know what a loveless bolt is. So what the loveless bolts do is, using these collars, when you put the bolt through and the collar is on either side of the handle material, they mechanically fasten the handles to the knife. Now you're using epoxy as well to glue them, but this gives them a little bit of extra security, and it's a nice finish too. Right, once you've ground that end down and ground that down, you'll have, let's see if I can do this here. See if I can do it one-handed. Oh, holy smokes. So it'll kind of look like that, a little bit more polished, right? So this is what it's going to look like in the handle when it's ground down on both sides. So you're going to grind the head off, and it'll look like that on that side too. Okay? So I wasn't sure if anybody was wondering what the hell is a loveless bolt. So there you go. Alright, cheers. So this is my forge, guys. That's 2300 degree Fahrenheit kiln brick or fire brick, whatever you want to call it. 2 map torches, and it gets screaming hot, as you can imagine. There's the canola oil, which I keep at about 130 degrees Fahrenheit with the use of the griddle. So when I dip the blade, I know the oil is at the right temperature. So I didn't film the heat treat process simply because it's the most stressful part of the entire thing for me. This is the second blade that I've ever heat treated, Those other 5 knives that I keep talking about, I've shaped and profiled them. I haven't heat treated them yet. So apart from the first blade that I did, this is the second blade that I've ever heat treated. So you can forgive me for not filming it because I'm pretty stressed out. If I get a proper camera and I'm able to put it on a tripod, and I'll probably film heat treating at some point. So there's the knife tempering. It's tempering at 450 for 2 hours, and then I'm going to temper it again for a second 2 hours. My first knife was tempered 3 times at 425, 2 hours at a time. And I think that knife was a little bit too hard. The reason being is one of the holes I drilled for the handle I had to make a little bit bigger, and after the heat treat no drill bit would touch it. I used all kinds of drill bits. I didn't have cobalt at the time, I only had the titanium drill bits, but it made mincemeat of 2 bits. Just chewed them up. So anyway, so I'm going to do a different temper cycle this time, and we'll see how this one comes out. Alright, so when that's done, I'll show you. Okay, Charlie, here comes the stinky part. Right, guys, so while the knives are tempering, we're going to make some micarta. Oh, at least I am. Some Canadian colours there for you, red and white, which I thought would be fitting for the handle material. We're going to saturate those piece by piece with the polyester resin. Then we're going to put them in the press. Oh, actually, we're putting them in the press as we saturated them and lay them on top of each other. Then we're going to sandwich them in the press with the top piece and some clamps. Not squeezing all the resin out, by the way, just, you know, a snug fit, let's say snug. There are tons of videos on YouTube about making micarta, so I'm not going to bore you with mine. I'm just going to show you the results. Alright, so see you in a bit. Well, the knife is out of the tempering cycle. Ready to be cleaned up. And this is the workable piece that I got out of that block of micarta. Looks pretty good. Sanded the edge there so you can see the color blend. Right? There's some pitting, but that's just in the epoxy. I gotta sand that down. It's quite a thick piece, right, for to be handle material, a lot to work with. But yeah, that's the nervous part next, right? I've only got this piece to work with. I hope I don't mess up the handles, and I hope I don't mess up cleaning this thing. I'm going to be dunking it in water as much as possible to not mess up the temper, and then take my time on the handles, and then we'll be done. So I guess the next shot will be the finished item. Hope you've enjoyed this. I know it's been a fairly short video and not showing the steps because you know, I'm just filming on my iPad. Wasn't able to use my regular camera to film every step of the process, so I apologize for that. I'll maybe get a better camera so I can put on a tripod and film more for you guys, but anyway, this was just a commemorative knife build anyway, so I'll see you in a bit. So here it is, guys. This is the finished knife. Yeah, I'm happy with it. There's a couple of blemishes and stuff that I would have liked to have gotten out, but this is as finished as it's going to get in the time frame of the Canada Day long weekend. I started Saturday morning, Canada Day, and I finished it's Monday evening of the long weekend. And there you go. Now I'm just going to get this video up. It's probably going to be as rough as it comes. So anyway, if you're watching, thank you for watching, and hope you had a great Canada Day long weekend. And if you're watching from the US, I hope you have a great 4th of July. Anyway, cheers guys.